Well, I was born in 1946 in Marshall, Texas. My father was in the Navy, stationed at a submarine base in New York. After the war, we moved to Dallas, Texas. My grandfather was the superintendent of the Dallas public school system. My grandmother, she was a teacher. My father was a musician. The Billy Mayo Quintet was a big deal in those days. My first job, I was 9 years old. I got paid $7 a week. I worked at Bob Link's golf course. Well, Jake, in high school, I guess my favorite activity at the time was football. If you didn't play football, then you had to run track. So it was track and football that I did was the main sport. They didn't have soccer. That was unheard of. If you didn't play sports, then you were in the orchestra, the band, or you joined the ROTC.
So how old were you when you became a parent?
16.
What was it like being a parent in high school?
Well, at that point in time, I didn't really think that much about it, but my first daughter was born in 1963. So that put me as a junior in high school. My second daughter was born in 1965.
How did your everyday life change because of this?
Well, I went straight to work. My parents weren't too happy about the whole situation. You could not get married in Texas at 16 without your parents' approval, so I drove to Ardmore, Oklahoma. And we got married by the Justice of the Peace and then came home to tell our parents what we'd done.
Did your friends look at you differently because of this?
No, not really. I played sports. Was in all the activities that you did. It was just a little bit harder because all I did was work. But I had my first job when I was 9 years old. I made $7 a week washing golf balls.
How did it affect your life after high school?
I guess your priorities change. So when you have a family and you have children, you have to work. And I had to work and put myself through North Texas State University when I graduated from high school.
At what age did you find out that you had cancer?
I was 20 years old. Was operated on 3 days before Christmas in 1966.
How long did you have the cancer before you realized that you needed the amputation?
Nobody really knows. I had a motorcycle accident. I owned a motorcycle shop and I used to race. I was in Austin, Texas at a Southwest Enduro Championship and I had a bad wreck and they evac'd me to a hospital. They did an x-ray and said, "You have a bone tumor." I never knew I had it. I never knew I had a problem. And my attitude was, I've got to be back to work tomorrow, so do what you got to do. But I was 3 months in the hospital in Dallas, Texas, at Baylor Hospital. And then I was transferred to MD Anderson Tumor and Research Clinic in Houston, Texas. And that's where they diagnosed it, and then I lost my leg because of that.
What was the most difficult part of the operation?
I guess accepting it. You know, when you're 20 years old, it's just something that happens to you. It is, when you're in the hospital, you're in an environment that is completely different when you walk out the door and go back into real life. And it's not so much as how you feel about it, it's how do your friends feel about it. And what are they going to say? And what, you know, and it's all how you're received. So you just go on. You just go on with it. You don't give up. It's something you don't like. I hate it worse than anybody. What are you going to do? You just keep going.
What were some limitations that you had after the operation?
I really didn't have any. I could do anything I wanted to do. you might have to do it just a little bit different. I still water skied. I didn't snow ski. Even rigged up cars where I could drive them, stick shift cars back in the 60s. So you just have to do things a little bit different, and it's a little more inconvenience, but it never stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do.
What motivated you to make it through these times?
I guess just self-motivation. I've never given up on anything, and the situation is this is the way it is, and I couldn't change it. So you just go on with your life and make the best of it. You don't pay any attention to it.